Right guys, we are lucky enough to be joined by two-time European Tour champion at the SA Open this week in Sun City. So firstly, do you want to introduce yourself? Name, where you're from, your record and all of that jazz.
Hi guys, my name is Shubhankar Sharma. I've been playing on the European Tour for 3 years and I won twice out here. My last win was in 2018 at the Maybank Malaysian Open, and the one before that was at Joburg in December 2017. So yeah, been playing out here for 3 years, and yeah, it's a lot of fun playing out here. Yeah.
Brilliant. So how old are you at the moment?
I'm 24 now.
24?
Yeah.
Already won twice?
I won twice, yes.
That's a good record, man. So how long have you been pro?
I've been pro for 8 years now.
Okay.
I turned pro when I was 16.
Started early.
Quite
Good man.
early, yes.
Right, so what I want to do today is just ask you a few questions about how you prepare for a European Tour event. So as we go through, we'll stop off maybe a few spots, maybe a tee, maybe around the greens, and just get your insights basically, okay?
Yeah.
So this upload is likely to be over the Christmas period. I'm obviously out here caddying for Steve Surrey at the moment with 3 European Tour events, so I've got access to some really good players. What I want to do with this channel is give you an inside scoop from some top quality players, and maybe you can pick up a few things to then use in preparation for your rounds, whether that be club champs, monthly medal, or if you're just into golf and just want to learn a bit more about how good players get ready for a tournament. I swear my cardio is not actually that bad. It's warm. Swing. That way. Right, so can we start with a fairly general question? Okay, so I know you've played this course before in tournament. Say this is the first time you're coming to this event. Are there a few things that you do in a practice round to learn the course? Like, what is your process in a practice round early on in the week?
So normally I try and get to a course on a Monday or a Tuesday, and the first few things that you see in a course is places you want to miss it off the tee. You can't, like, the places you want to keep it off the tee. Especially on a course like this, it's very important to know where to miss it off the tee. Like this hole, the 4th hole. I mean, if you come here for the first time, you'd think it's a driver, but when you get up there, you see it's very, very tight for the driver. It doesn't make sense to hit driver all 4 days. With the wind swirling and everything, you probably want to hit like a 260-yard shot of the tee and then have a longer club into the green, but more chances of you hitting a 2-iron or a rescue in the fairway than hitting a driver. So all of those things, and checking out the different nuances of the course and the grass, the way the greens are, how the fringes are, how the bunkers are. You pretty much look at everything and you study, and it takes about 3-4 days to kind of figure it out, and then you're ready to go on a Thursday. Okay, do you do anything prior to a practice round in terms of mapping out the course, perhaps on like Google Earth, trying to see the spots that you can hit it, or do you just come here basically and then start to learn? I just pretty much come here. So you get here on a Monday and then you study the course book that you get on a Monday, and figure out how the holes are. Fortunately, I've played this course before, but like Leopard Creek, I hadn't played it before, so I played it last week, and that was quite a nice course. And you really had to know where to attack on a few holes and where to kind of be conservative of the tee. Yeah. And took me and my friend who's carrying for me, it took us about 2-3 days to figure that out. Really? So yeah, it's very important to map out the course that way. So I don't do anything prior to getting there, but Monday to Wednesday is pretty much preparation and seeing how the course is.
This may be helping the guys at home when they're playing a practice round. So say for instance, guys at home playing a practice round and they come out and they're not hitting it well, or maybe they're just having a bad swing day, right? So they'll usually just go straight to technique, trying to figure something out rather than focus on the practice round. When you're coming out here and you're playing a practice round, say, for instance, you may not be hitting it well on a particular day, does that change anything, or if you just stay focused on what you're trying to do out here?
A bit of both actually. So normally on a practice day, I would normally go to the range before I start playing and hit a few balls and try and get a few swing thoughts in my head, what I want to do on the golf course. And obviously when I get to the course, I'm trying to look at the course and see where to miss it and what the wind direction is and how the greens are. But I still want to have those 2 or 3 swing thoughts that I worked on the range with me on the golf course. And obviously if something goes off, then you don't really try and get too much into it on the course and try and fix it.
Yep.
You would rather want to wait for the round to finish and then go on the range and practice. And if it's just a Monday or a Tuesday, you still have 2 more days to, you know, kind of figure it out. But yeah, it's more important to look at the course and understand, you know, how the course is and what the wind direction is, how the greens are, where to miss it, where not to.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of both, but again, don't panic when things aren't going your way. Just wait for the round to finish and, you know, you can have 2-3 hours on the range and fix it.
So around the greens, what are you trying to learn on the greens, like around the greens? What are your things that you're trying to pick up?
Greens, first of all, you look at the contours on the greens. So if it's a golf course that you've played before, then you would probably know where the pin positions are, so you go and putt to those positions. Greens out here are fairly small, so you really have to pick your places where the pins can be, and especially on your approach shots, it's very important to figure out the right pockets on the greens. Because of the altitude here, some of the sections of the greens, it's very tough to get the distance right with the wind swirling and everything. So you know, I look at all of that, and obviously around the greens, so if this is obviously a par 5, and if I have like 240 or 250 yards in, I would definitely see where the pin position is and where I can miss it for the easiest opportunity for a birdie. Obviously if I had a great shot, I'll be on the green, but if I miss it, then where would be the best spot for me to have the easiest up and down from? So yeah, I look at all of those things. Then the rough around the greens, the places where you can miss it, the places where you can't miss it. Obviously some greens are pretty slopey, like the green that we played before this slopes a lot from back to front, so you know, you would want to be careful on a putt that's down the hill 20-30 feet. You don't really want to you know, taken aback by the speed. That's something that you look at when you're playing a practice round, and that's the notes that most of the players make.
Yeah, so for the guys at home that may be familiar with the golf course that they're playing of the week, and maybe it's like the club championships for instance, and they played the course, obviously the club champs, they get the greens a bit quicker and they get the rough a bit longer. So what would you say was a good thing for them to do when they come out for a practice round prior to the club champs, in and around the greens? Just get used to the grass, get used to the speed.
Get used to the grass, get used to the speed. Obviously if it's a club championship, then you would have played the course numerous number of times, so I'm sure everyone has a strategy of playing a certain hole, and you know how you play the par 5s and the par 3s, so you pretty much stick to that. And the greens, obviously for a tournament, they are a lot faster than what you would have them in a normal practice round or a normal day with your friends, so you just kind of get used to the speed. Some of the slopes that are normally not that fast would be faster in the tournament, so go and hit a few putts there in the practice rounds, and you know, pretty much stick to your routine. At the end of the day, it's a course that you play every day, so you wouldn't want to change your strategy, but you know, just a few extra putts on the greens and figuring out how the greens are rolling.
Right, I appreciate your time so far. You're a natural on camera. Just one more question, just because I'm interested. It really isn't for the guys at home or about practice rounds, but so turning pro at 16, is that sort of like more the norm out in India? Like, do a lot of the guys turn pro young, or are you an exception because you had a great amateur career?
Quite the opposite actually. No one turns pro that early.
Alright.
I had a decent amateur career. Actually, I was still an amateur still junior when I turned pro. Well, it was just a decision that, you know, my family and I took. I thought it would be better for me to turn pro and learn from the professional ranks, and have more time to kind of develop as a player on the Indian tour and then on the Asian tour, and be a better player when I come out here in Europe, and I eventually want to get to America. So that was the whole idea behind turning pro that early. And then quite a few guys actually took my route and turned pro quite early when they were about 18-19. So yeah,
you set the trend.
I was one of the first few guys who turned pro pretty early. Me and a few of my other two friends who were 16, 17 at that time as well.
Great. So you turned pro at 16. How long did it take to get a European Tour card?
So I played in India and Asia. So I played in India for about 2 years. 2013 was my first season. So 13, 14 I played in India. 15 I had a card in Asia. So I played 15 and 16 I played in Asia. 17 I won in Joburg, which was a co-sanction with the Asian Tour.
Okay.
So yeah,
that was
about 21 then when I won. So that's when I got my card in Europe, and then I won again in 2 months. So yeah,
That was a good little spell for you then.
it was, yes, 3 months kind of changed everything. I played
Yeah.
all majors that year, so it was absolutely fantastic. So
That's
pretty
great.
happy with how things have been till now. And playing on the European Tour, it's always been a dream of mine. Playing in different countries and playing these beautiful golf courses. So
Yeah.
couldn't have asked for anything better.
Great. Right, I wish you all the best for your career.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks
so much.
for taking time today, really appreciate
Thanks
it,
for
and
having me.
have a good week this week.
Thank you.
Pleasure, mate.